Today I want to share with you how I went from struggling copywriter to making $1 million in just a few short years. There are 7 things that I follow every single day, 7 principles, 7 laws of success. And if you follow them too, I'm confident you'll be a millionaire too. Let's get into it. Now, just a heads up, if you're a beginner copywriter, this video is probably not going to help you that much because you first need a few clients to apply what I'm about to share with you. So go get a coach, go get your first client, and then come back. So if you're a copywriter with active clients and you're making money from copywriting, then this video is for you. Because in this video, I want to share with you the 7 principles, I guess you could call them the 7 laws that helped me become a millionaire copywriter. And heads up, I've made over $1 million from copywriting over the last 4 or 5 years. I have helped over 72 people to make $10,000 every single month, dozens to make $25,000 a month and more. And actually, I've helped 2 people become millionaires as well. So when I share this stuff with you, I'm not sharing it from somebody else's perspective or some stuff I read in the book. I'm just sharing stuff that actually helped me, that actually I implemented into my own life that I think will change your life if you implement these things too. So let's get straight into it. So the first law is action, feedback, consistency. This is my philosophy on how to actually achieve everything that you want. You need to take action, you need to get feedback on the action, and then you need to remain consistent. With just this alone, your entire life can be different. I'll give you an example, right? Let's say you want to close copywriting clients and you want to make more money and you want to get a premium client, right? Well, the first step is action. You want to start taking action to get the client. But if you're taking action and you're not getting results with the action, you need to actually adjust the action you take. You need to change something in your process, right? So you need to get feedback on the action you're taking in order for you to change. And I see a lot of people, they'll send like 2,000 cold emails, or they'll do this strategy, or they'll do this strategy. And it's like, it's not working, but they keep pushing in the same direction. So action is very important, but you have to get feedback so that you can adjust the action, so that you can actually take feedback from what's happening from reality or from a coach or from a community, and you use that feedback to actually, change the way that you're taking action, make a couple of tweaks, make a couple of improvements, and then you get better results. So if you have action and feedback, what you do is instead of sending 2,000 cold emails, you could send 100 cold emails, get a little bit of feedback, adjust the process a little bit, send another 100 emails, adjust the process, and now you've got something that actually works. Instead of sending 2,000 emails that don't work, you only have to send 200. And the last step, action, feedback, consistency, is about taking action a lot, taking action consistently. Like, it doesn't help you if you only take action for a few weeks and then you stop, right? If you take action and then you get feedback, but then you don't remain consistent, you're not going to get the result. And a very, very powerful way to think about this is like, you could have a 7 out of 10 strategy and be 1 out of 10 consistent, and it's not going to do very well. You're going to get a very poor result. If you have a 5 out of 10 strategy, it's not as good, but you're 9 out of 10 times consistent, like what kind of result are you going to get? You're going to get a much better result. Even if you have a worse strategy, by being consistent, you make up for the strategy not being that effective. So actually, a lot of my private clients close copywriting clients very, very easily, even with very average strategies, the strategies that people don't even think work, because they remain consistent, because they keep taking action no matter what. So action, feedback, consistency. And it's the same thing with copywriting. Like when you improve as a copywriter, you want to get feedback, you want to get data, you want to get feedback from a coach, you want to get feedback from your client. You want to keep taking action to write the copy and then get feedback on the copy. And then you want to actually continue that process again and again and again. So action, feedback, consistency is the first law of success, the first thing that helped me become a millionaire. And really, I just do this every single day. It's not about learning all these new secrets. It's not about learning all these new strategies. It's about taking something, implementing it, getting feedback, seeing how it goes, keep on implementing it, get more feedback consistently until you get the result. So that's the first law of success. Let's get into the next one. Success law number 2 is surround yourself with successful people, surround yourself with winners, surround yourself with very successful copywriters. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, oh, I've heard this before. I know that I need to do that. Well, do you do it? Do you have successful friends that make money from copywriting? When I was at 10K a month, I had 4 or 5 friends that were making $25,000 to $50,000 a month, every single month. And that was when I was at 10K. And when I got to 50K, I had friends making millions of dollars every single year. In fact, one of my friends makes $1 million every single month. So the important thing here is not to just say like, oh yeah, I know I should be around winners. It's like, do you actually spend time around winners? Are you actually surrounding yourself with winners every single day? So I have a funny story to tell you. Yesterday, I actually had a full circle moment because when I wanted to first get into copywriting, the reason I got into copywriting is because I wanted to come to Japan. I wanted to learn Japanese. And one of the people I was learning Japanese from was a very popular YouTuber. He's still a very popular YouTuber. His name is Matt versus Japan. And I was studying and learning from Matt versus Japan how to improve at Japanese. And I really, really wanted to, come to Japan. And yesterday, I actually met him in person. And so he taught me how to learn Japanese. I learned some Japanese. Then I got into copywriting so I could come to Japan to practice Japanese. And then I met Matt like yesterday in Japan and I shared with him copywriting. So it's cool. It's a full circle, but it's like, these are the kinds of people you want to, meet. You want to be around successful people. You want to meet other business owners. You want to meet other copywriters. Like if you want to be successful, you have to meet a lot of strangers. You have to meet people that you haven't met before. Because if you knew all the successful people that you needed to know to become successful, you'd already be successful. So that takes time. That means you have to get out of your comfort zone. It means you have to go out there, get on the phone with people, get on camera, get on Zoom, or maybe even see people in person and make an effort with your appearance, make an effort to improve at like being social. I know a lot of copywriters, they get into copywriting because they want to hide away from being social, but you really do have to double down on connecting with people and meeting people if you want to succeed in this industry. So surround yourself with successful people, but also learn how to connect with and make friends with successful people. You do this, I promise you, your life is going to be completely different. Because the other thing is, instead of spending tens of thousands of dollars in courses, when you have successful friends, you can literally just ask your friend like, hey, I'm struggling with this problem. Like, have you ever come across this problem? Have you ever run into the same issue? And they're like, yeah, of course, I did this and I did this. And it's like, boom, your problem is solved. Like, you don't have to go and buy a course. You don't have to go pay a consultant. You don't have to hire a team. Your friends, when you're successful, have probably been through similar things that you're going through right now. And many of them have probably solved the things that you need to solve right now. So just chatting to them, you're already going to get the solution to stuff. So you're going to save yourself a lot of money and you're not going to have to join as many courses. So make some friends. Like, making successful friends, you will become successful through osmosis. Like, you will just, it's like immersing in a foreign language. It's like the more you spend time in a foreign language, the more comfortable you're going to be. The more time you spend around successful people, the more comfortable you're going to be with the idea of success. That's law number 2. Let's get into the next one. Law number 3 is the leverage of your reputation. Now, I didn't actually understand this one for a very long time because I never really thought about your reputation being leverage. I always used to think that like being a successful person involves like having a business or having an offer or having something else create leverage, like having a team create leverage. But really in our industry, what actually creates the sale? 80% of it is you. 80% of it's your reputation. So to make the money, yeah, you can have a product, you can have an offer, you can have a business, you can have a team, but the real thing that makes you money is you. You make you money, right? And you look at businesses with offers, like a lot of them, they have personal brands. That brand is what's creating the sales. You take that brand, you take that reputation, you take that relationship that they have with their followers, and you promote and you monetize that following. And that's where the money comes from. It doesn't actually come from the product. I mean, the product is part of it, but it's actually the reputation that creates the leverage. So a lot of copywriters, they don't think that they have any leverage. They're like, oh, I'm trading my time for some dollars. I'm trading my time for like a small amount of money, but you actually do have a lot of leverage. You really do, because your reputation can get you clients like this. If you have a good reputation, you could get a client like 5-10 times faster than somebody with a bad reputation, somebody with no reputation. So just having a good reputation, you can create a lot of wealth for yourself very, very easily. And so I got a perfect example of this. One of my private clients made $25,000 last month. And when he started as a copywriter, he made like $1,000 when we first started working together. Nobody knew him, he had no reputation, but now he's worked with some of the biggest businesses in the industry. He's generated like tens of millions of dollars. He has a lot of names on his CV. Like, he has a lot of respect. He has generated a lot of results for people. So his reputation is really helping him now. So whenever he applies for a gig, or he sends a cold email, or he reaches out to somebody, like instantly he gets the client, like almost instantly, within like 3 tries. He'll message like 3 people, one of them will want to get an interview, one of them will want to get on a sales call. So it's like super easy for him. He has so much leverage compared to when he got started. He had to send like 1,000 cold emails when he got started to get clients. Now he can close some of the biggest clients in the industry. He has a 10-figure client, not a 9-figure, a 10-figure client. That is the power of reputation. So when you understand that your leverage does not come from something external, but it actually comes from you, your reputation is the most important thing. That's when you realize, okay, I know how to make a lot of money. And by the way, that's why I spend so much time personally, like focusing on my client's success as an offer owner, because I coach copywriters privately in the dojo. And I also have a program where I share everything I know about copywriting for just $2 a day. And I spend a lot more time with my private clients and building this program than I spend on marketing and I spend on like, sales and advertising stuff. Because for me, like the reputation stuff is so important. I want to create the best product in the world. I want to create the best one-on-one coaching in existence for copywriters. Like that is my mission. If I can create a high quality product and I can create high quality coaching, I know that the money will come later. Like I don't have to really worry about that. Like I'm much more focused on the client success, and it served me pretty well. That's part of why I'm recording this video for you today, is because I have people that really appreciate the work that they've done with me, and they share a lot of good stuff about me because of that. And it's because I focused on my reputation. I didn't focus on making a quick buck. I didn't focus on, like a cash injection, hard promotion. Like let's make all this money today, and then like let's leave and disappear. And a lot of business owners you might have worked with, you may have seen them do that. They sacrifice their reputation because they don't understand that the reputation's the leverage. The product is just a vehicle. The reputation is actually where the leverage comes from. So that is success law number 3. Let's get into the next one. Law number 4 is that there's always only one bottleneck in your business. And it takes some time to realize how powerful this is. But once you get this, like you will make so much more money. It's going to be insane. You're literally going to have a different life, because there is always only one thing that's actually in your way. And you have to be able to identify what that one thing is. I can give you a perfect example. So most people think that their problem, let's say, is like improving a copy, or they're burnt out, or they need better results to close bigger clients, or something else, right? They think that there's a problem there. But you know what solves all 3 of those problems? Closing one premium client. If you close one premium client, here's what happens. Suddenly, you're in a team where you have an opportunity to learn a lot, because the team is a very big team, and there's a lot of resources and there's a lot of talented people. So you're going to automatically learn. So that solves problem number 1, which is, and I want to get better at copy. Second problem is, oh, I'm burnt out, I'm working so much. Well, guess what? If you have a big client, you can fire all those small clients, and now you have all the bandwidth to do all the work for that big client. So now suddenly you're not burnt out anymore. You actually have a lot more free time, right? And the third thing is, like I want to get results, but I don't have enough results to close a big client. Well, if you can get that big client, the first big client, you can close a very big client. All the results you get for that big client, you can use forever to get the next big client. So one solution actually solves 3 problems, 3 very different problems. And a lot of people don't think about that. It's like, they'll just say, I'm gonna solve this problem, and then I'm gonna solve this problem, and then I'm gonna solve this problem. But if you understand that there's always one big bottleneck in your business, there's one big thing that is keeping you stuck, that you have to get past that one big thing. When you can identify what the one big thing is, it actually comes from this theory of constraints. You can research it, theory of constraints. There's always like one thing that creates all the friction. And once you remove that piece of friction, everything flows. It's the same in copywriting. It's the same with a copywriting business, or any business actually. It's like there's always one massive constraint. There's one massive bottleneck. Once you can break through that, once you can figure out what that is and break through it, then you get to the next level. And usually what happens is, like, when you figure out what that is, it's not the thing you want to do. A lot of the time copywriters, they're like kind of avoiding it. Closing a big client might be scary, because now you have to suddenly level up your skills. Now you suddenly have to do stuff that's high pressure, right? Maybe you have to hire a coach. So a lot of people subconsciously know that there's this one big thing that if they do that, it's going to change everything, but they're kind of avoiding it because they don't want to do that one uncomfortable thing. They'd rather be like in the trenches, like in the details, in the weeds, like focusing on solving, like, oh, this small little problem, I'll solve this first, I'll solve this first, I'll solve this next. It's like, well, you could solve all those things, but the biggest problem is still there. Therefore, you're always going to get some unique version of that problem, that smaller problem. You're always going to get the symptoms. You're not actually addressing the root cause. You're not actually addressing the real issue. And so that's actually why it's so important to have a one-on-one coach. And I always hire one-on-one coaches, because when I get a coach that directly gives me feedback, they're usually able to help me identify what that number one bottleneck is, that constraint, that one thing that's keeping me stuck. They help me identify what that is. And I can use that then, and I can say, okay, if I fix this one thing, everything else is going to get better. And that's kind of why I started this YouTube channel, because I first realized, like, when I started on YouTube, I was like, well, why am I doing this? Is because I'm solving the biggest challenge, which is not enough people know me, and not enough people are used to seeing me on camera and seeing me talk and seeing my face. They see my posts, they see me talk about stuff behind the scenes, underground, secretly doing stuff behind the scenes. But wouldn't it be great if we actually knew what Matt was like and what he thinks about and like who he is? So creating this channel solves that one thing. And once we did that, we actually created a very powerful effect on people that already know me, but also people that didn't really know me. Now, a lot of people get to know me, and I get the opportunity to interview a lot of very, very successful copywriters. A lot of very successful copywriters you probably know as well, that you can check out their videos, I don't know, somewhere on the channel, somewhere. Maybe we'll have like a picture, or we'll have like a link or whatever. But I get to interview some really cool people that have a lot of value to contribute and give to the internet marketing industry and copywriting in general. And I wouldn't have been able to do that without creating this channel. So figure out what that one thing is for you. I will say most of the time, if you're an active copywriter and you're already making money from copywriting, there's a very good chance that the reason you're stuck right now has nothing to do with all those small things. The reason you're stuck is because you don't know how to close a big premium client. That's probably the number one reason that you're stuck right now. And once you know how to close that one premium client, like, everything else is going to open up to you. Your business is going to be very different. You're going to have a lot more money available. You're going to be able to make a lot of better decisions, and you're going to be able to continue to grow. So my guess is, if you're watching this video up until now, the number one bottleneck you probably have in your business is that you don't know how to close premium clients. And if you don't know how to close premium clients, everything else is going to be stuck. Everything else is going to be nothing's going to work until you know how to close premium clients. Once you have a couple of good high-paying clients, your business will open up again. You'll have more cash flow. You'll be able to make better decisions, and you can go from there. So I think that's your number one bottleneck, most likely. If it's not, figure out what it is. And with that, let's get into the next law right here. I'll tell you in a second. So before we continue, let me share with you where we are. We're here in Shinjuku Gyoen, which is a park in the center of Tokyo. And it's beautiful because it's such a populated area, so densely populated, and yet it's such a big park. There are so many trees. There are a few trees that have already blossomed because we're just about to enter spring. And wow, it's beautiful here. The sun is actually warm for the first time this week. It's been a bit cold, but now we're warming up. And I want to share with you the fifth thing now. So the fifth law of success is doubling down on what works. I see a lot of copywriters get stuck because they think that as soon as they hit 10K, they have to go do something else. They have to get into a different industry. They have to build their own offer. They have to build an Amazon business. They have to get into real estate or something. People always get results. And then as soon as they get a little bit of, as soon as they get some progress, they just start doing something else. And I used to think that that's so weird. Why are you taking something that's working and then suddenly move into something that's completely different? If you've spent 3 years as a copywriter, you have 3 years of experience, you have 3 years of results, you have 3 years of connections and relationships you've built. And now if you go build an Amazon business, you're at zero. You're starting from scratch. You've got no momentum. You've got no compound interest working in your favor. You've got nothing working for you. And yet most people do that. Most people get a little bit of results, and then they just switch industry. They just go do something completely different. It's crazy how few copywriters are left from the time I got started that are still actively in the industry and didn't go and do something else. So the fifth law of success is to just stay consistent. You look at some of the biggest businesses in the world. You look at some of the most successful people, the billionaires in America. And if you look at the list of billionaires and how they made their wealth, it's very basic stuff. Majority of them made their money with very, very basic, like manufacturing tools for construction, or a wood company, or oil, or something very boring, something very basic. Brick manufacturer, tar manufacturer. The stuff that makes people billionaires is very, very basic, very, very simple stuff. And the reason they're so successful is because they invested 30, 40, 50, 60 years of doing the same thing again and again and again and doubling down. And so I suggest that you do that. I suggest that you double down as a copywriter, like focus on making more money from copywriting. You already have so much experience. You've already done so many things as a copywriter. Like spend more time collecting all those results and using them to get bigger clients. Like don't get distracted and go do something else. There's so much more that you can do. There's so many more results that you can create for yourself with your current business. You don't have to go do something else yet. Get to $25,000 a month. Once you're at $25,000 a month, then you can maybe say like, all right, now I want to like expand my skills. But like even for me, I hit 25K and I was like, all right, well, I want to do some other stuff, but let me first focus on copywriting. And then I hit 30K and I was like, all right, I want to do other stuff, but like there's still so much to do as a copywriter. And then I hit 40K. It's just like same conversations. Like I want to go do other things. I have all this money in the bank. Like I could do stuff, but the most logical thing to do is to just do more copywriting because I've got a reputation, I've got results, I've helped lots of people. Like I know the game. Why would I go do something else? And then I got to 50K and it's just like every single time I have this conversation with myself, it's like the ease of just doubling down where I'm already creating results in myself and already getting like winning. Just makes so much more sense to just do that. So stick with it, like focus on the skill of copywriting and don't get distracted. And if you're like not making more money and you feel like you've been at the same place for a year or two, then I've got a lot of videos on this channel that will like show you what you can do to get to the next level. So if you just go watch those videos and like figure out what the missing piece is for you and the reason you're not getting to that next level, it goes back to what we talked about earlier. Like there's only one bottleneck in your business right now that is actually going to make the biggest difference. So figure out what that is and then keep going. But to think that you need to go and do something else other than copywriting, that is actually going to just take you away from what actually matters. So that is law number 5. Let's get into the next one. Okay, so law number 6 is everything is a system, and systems thinking completely changed the way I see business. And I started to see it a lot more when I started to become a consultant and started like doing more than just copywriting for my clients. Like I was writing the copy, I was writing the email copy, and then I got to the point where I was like, there's actually all these other things I could do to help this business make more money, and they're not doing any of this stuff. Like, let me just tell them, hey, like, here's opportunity. Here's opportunity. So I started to tell my clients, like, what if we tried this? What if we tried this? And they were like, oh, that makes sense. Like, let's try that. And then they tried it and we made like a crap ton of money. We made like hundreds of thousands of dollars extra, all because I started to figure out like everything is a system. And I started to hear other expert, like successful people talk about systems. Like you have to look at the steps in something. And I've actually got a whole video on systems thinking that we've got on the channel as well. So like you can check that one out for like a more in-depth explanation. But the basics of it is like everything that you want in life, you can get if you take action, like we talked about previously. And every like piece of action that you take follows a step-by-step system. If you want to get anywhere, there is a process to do it. And instead of just looking at the like, oh, I want to get this outcome, look at the system that gets you the outcome and break it into its individual pieces, and look at the individual pieces and say like, am I implementing each piece of the system correctly? And if I'm implementing each piece of the system correctly, then I'm going to get the result. So looking at everything in your business, looking at everything from a place of like, this is a system, will help you to start making better decisions and help you identify where your gaps are and like why you're not at the income level that you want to be. Like usually that's why I say the bottleneck, there's one big bottleneck. The one big bottleneck is usually one of those steps in that system. Once you identify what that step is and you unblock it, everything else starts to move slowly. So that's systems thinking. That is law number 6. And the final law, which is really, really important for our industry, is your customer success is your marketing. A lot of copywriters that have this tendency of like turning everything into a like promotion, or like, the 3 secrets to sales, the 3 secrets to subject lines, the 3 secrets to call to actions. They like turn everything into copy, right? But the real way to get successful in this industry and in any industry is to actually have a process for capturing as much success as possible, because client success creates referrals, and referrals creates more business, and more business creates more opportunities to get results and create client success, and more client success gives you more business. So like it becomes this multiplier where you get clients, you generate insane results, you get them those results, then they share people with you, then you get those clients, and then those people share with you. Like I'd say at this point, Probably 80% of all the money I've made over the last 8 years, 80% of it's from client success. That's a lot of money. That's over $1 million generated from client success, just by focusing on delivering incredible value to my current clients, helping my new clients get good results too, like making sure that the people that worked with me long ago that I'm still working with, my oldest clients, don't feel like I've lost interest and I'm prioritizing new clients. Like always giving all of your clients your very, very best. And getting clients from client success is actually one of the 12 ways that I share with my private clients how to close premium copywriting deals. So if you want to get premium copywriting deals and you want to know exactly what to do step by step, you want all the systems and all the processes for how to close amazing clients, I've actually recorded a video for you on this channel where you can go click it. It's probably somewhere here. I don't know where it is. The video guy is going to do his thing. Go watch that video and go and see the 12 strategies that have proven to work. I've helped 72 copywriters to get to 10K a month with these 12 proven client getting strategies. Go watch it and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.